Have you ever felt like your rehab exercises just aren't working, no matter how hard you try? Well, a very common reason for this is inappropriate progressions in your exercises. Without adjusting the intensity, sets, reps, and loads in a structured, gradual way, your body can get stuck in a cycle of pain and weakness with no notable improvements despite the effort. So today, we'll be diving into how to enhance your rehab progressions using a four-phased approach. I'll walk you through why each phase matters, how they build on each other, and why skipping steps could actually slow your progress or even lead to further injury. Progressive loading is one of the most crucial principles in rehab. If it's too little, people can plateau and experience minimal improvement of function or symptoms. On the other hand, too much load can lead to increased pain or even injury. It's a bit of a Goldilocks situation, finding just the right amount of load that stimulates the body to change and become more resilient without causing excessive strain. And the key to this is creating a structured, step-by-step progression framework, starting with stability, moving through motor control, then building strength, and ultimately progressing into the power training. Each phase builds on the previous one, ensuring a steady and safe recovery while minimizing the risk of re-injury. And throughout this video, I'll be referencing something called a 1 repetition maximum. This is the maximum amount of weight you can lift for a single repetition of a particular exercise with proper form. It serves as a benchmark to help determine how much weight you should be using during each phase. We'll be using percentages of your 1 repetition maximum to guide progressions and give you a better idea of how heavy these exercises should be. Let's start with the stability phase. At this stage, we're not focusing on movement just yet. Stability is your body's ability to maintain control and hold a joint or a position steady, even when under stress or load. It's the foundation for all other aspects of recovery, especially after an injury. Without stability, it's impossible to build strength effectively or progress to more dynamic movements. Imagine trying to build a house on a shaky foundation. It simply doesn't hold up. This phase lays the groundwork for everything that follows, ensuring your joints remain steady and well supported even under increasing demands. Stability exercises often include simple yet challenging movements, anything that requires your muscle to engage and keep the joint in controlled, stable positions. In the stability phase, the load is typically very light, and you don't usually need to measure it as a percentage of your 1 repetition maximum, since the focus is on endurance and not strength. If you do add a light resistance, it would generally be around 20 to 30% of your 1 repetition maximum. The goal is to engage the muscles without overloading them, focusing on holding positions and building endurance. You'll typically perform 2 to 3 sets of 10 repetitions, with each repetition including a 5 to 10 second hold. But how do you know you should be in the stability phase? Well, if you're struggling to maintain proper position during basic movement exercises like planks or bridges, or if you find it difficult to keep your joints in alignment during simple movements, this is likely the phase for you. Common signs of lack of stability include the hip dropping excessively when you walk, or your shoulder hiking up when you raise your arm overhead. I like to use 30 seconds as my cutoff point. If you can hold the joint in a position for at least 30 seconds with good control and without increased symptoms, then you can move on to the motor control phase. The motor control phase is a crucial part of your recovery, serving as the bridge between building stability and gaining strength. This phase focuses on teaching your body how to move efficiently and smoothly. Unlike the stability phase, which is about holding positions, motor control involves more dynamic, multi-joint movements that reflect how the body operates in real life. It's all about retraining your brain and muscles to work together seamlessly, ensuring proper sequencing and timing during movement. This phase is so important because after injury, your body often develops compensatory patterns to protect itself. These patterns can lead to inefficient movement or imbalances, which may cause further injuries down the road. By focusing on motor control, you're reprogramming these patterns, helping your muscles activate in the right order and with the right intensity. Not only does this reduce the risk of re-injury, but it also prepares your body for more demanding strength and power exercise that come later. During this phase, your nervous system is hard at work rebuilding communication pathways between your brain and muscles. Think of it as rewiring your body to move the right way. At the same time, your muscles are gaining endurance and coordination, which are key for performing everyday tasks without fatigue. The goal here isn't about heavy lifting, it's quality of movement. That's why the resistance is kept light to moderate, typically around 30 to 50% of your 1 repetition maximum. You'll do higher repetitions, usually 3 sets of 8 to 12 reps, to give your body plenty of practice with these movement patterns. Exercises like bodyweight squats, step-ups, lunges, or banded movements are great choices because they mimic real-life activities and challenge multiple joints to work together. You'll know you're ready to move on to the strength phase when you can perform these exercises with good form, full range of motion, and without any compensations or increased symptoms. The motor control phase lays the foundation for efficient, pain-free movement, setting you up for long-term recovery and resilience. It's a step you definitely don't want to rush because the benefits will carry through to every phase that follows. Next up is the strength phase, where we really start to challenge your muscles and tendons with heavier loads. Once you've built up sufficient stability and motor control, your body is ready to handle increasing loads. This is where true tissue changes happen. Over time, the muscles adapt by increasing the size and strength, while the tendons also become more robust, improving their overall capacity to handle greater loads. This is a critical stage in recovery, but many patients and providers make the mistake of jumping into strength training too soon before they've built up enough stability and motor control. Without having those earlier phases in place, the risk of overload and re-injury increases significantly. Another common mistake is underloading during strength training, or failing to progress over time. While people might feel like they are strengthening, if the resistance isn't challenging enough, they won't stimulate the necessary adaptations in the muscles and tendons. And some very often do start with adequate loads, but fail to gradually increase them over time, leading to frustration and plateaus. Without consistent progression, the body stops adapting, and improvements in strength, resilience, and function stall. Strength training not only builds muscle mass, but also stimulates collagen production in tendons and ligaments, which is key for improving tissue resilience. Tendons in particular need this load to strengthen and prevent injury during higher level activities. Research shows that strength training can significantly improve tendon health by stimulating collagen turnover, increasing tendon stiffness, and enhancing overall tendon strength. So in the strength phase, it's not just about adding weight, it's about stimulating these vital tissue adaptations that make your muscles and tendons more capable of handling stress over time. But remember, the key is progressive overload, gradually increasing the load in a controlled manner to keep challenging your body without overwhelming it. And how much load is needed to strengthen? Well, as we increase our weight, we need to reduce the number of repetitions to ensure we're effectively challenging the muscles without compromising form. Typically, for strength training, we perform lower reps, around 6 to 8 reps per set, while increasing the number of sets to about 3 to 4 sets. This allows us to work with heavier loads, typically around 70 to 85% of a 1 repetition maximum, which is key for stimulating muscle growth and building tendon strength. By training with slightly heavier loads, you prepare your body to handle your everyday tasks with more efficiency. So tracking progress by increasing your lifting capacity beyond what you typically need can make a big difference in building functional strength for daily life. Also, another good way to track progress is if you're comparing sides, having at least 85% of the strength on your injured side compared to the unaffected side is a strong indicator that you've made significant strides. Now, for most people, the strength phase is when they start feeling really good. By the end of it, pain is usually much improved, and they've likely returned to most of their daily activities. But even if you're feeling better, I'd argue that many people should still consider advancing to the next phase. And this isn't just for athletes. Everyday people can benefit from the next phase too. It's about building long-term resilience and strength so you're not only prepared for daily activities, but also ready for those unexpected physical challenges that life can throw your way. Now that you've built up plenty of strength, it's now time to start focusing on power. Because what good is strength if you can't use it functionally? Most everyday activities require quick, explosive movements, whether it's going up and down the stairs, getting up from a chair, jumping, running across a street, or recovering from a fall. The slow, controlled movements you focused on during the strength phase won't be enough here. To move with speed and agility, your muscles and tendons need to adapt to faster, more explosive actions. Research shows that power training is essential for regaining explosive movements, improving functional performance, and increasing resilience to an injury. Power training typically involves lower repetitions, around 3 to 5 sets of 3 to 6 reps per set, and a higher intensity with faster, more explosive movements. The load generally ranges from 30 to 50% of your 1 repetition maximum, but the focus is on speed and force rather than pure strength. Studies show that training at these intensities enhances both the rate of force development and muscle fiber recruitment, which are crucial for explosive movements. You might start with basic plyometric movements like box jumps, jump squats, quick step drills, or medicine ball throws and slams. These exercises will help you develop explosiveness and power needed for more complex dynamic movements. Now, it's important to maintain proper form during these exercises, even if you emphasize speed to minimize the risk of injury. Proper technique also maximizes the benefits of power training by optimizing force production and movement efficiency. As you progress, you'll increase both the intensity and complexity of these exercises to continue building power and resilience, which help prevent common injuries in both athletic and non-athletic populations. Power training helps ensure your body is not only strong, but also fast, explosive, and prepared for whatever challenges come your way. So remember, if your rehab exercises aren't delivering results, don't skip phases. Make sure you progress strategically. Take the time to progress through each phase to ensure your body is getting the right stimulus. Trust the process and the results will follow. And if you want to share your experiences with rehab, don't hesitate to drop a comment below. But don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you can stay updated on everything you need to know about your body, how it works, and what it needs to keep moving.